الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار. الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode about the beautiful names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today we are going to speak about Al-Zahir, the manifest, Al-Batin, the hidden. And as we said in the last episode, that ayah of Surah Al-Hadith in which 4 names of Allah are mentioned. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. He is the first, He is the last. He is the manifest, He is the hidden, and He knows everything. Now the word al-Zahir, it means to be in a high place from ظهر. ظهره أي على ظهره. The person is somewhere upon the back of someone, means the back of the camel, for example. So that is to become high. And we can take it from this verse of Surah Al-Kahf, where the story of those people are mentioned who were visited by Zulqarnain. And they said that we are fearful of Gog and Magog to attack us again and again. And then he said that I am going to build a wall or a dam for you, and then he built it. And then this ayah, فَمَا اسْتَطَاعُوا أَن يَظْهَرُوهُ وَمَا اسْتَطَاعُوا لَهُ نَقْبًا. So they were not able أَن يَظْهَرُوهُ to be higher than that, or to cross it from above it. وَمَا اسْتَطَاعُوا لَهُ نَقْبًا. And they were not able to create a tunnel into it. Here, something interesting to note, and that is the beauty of Arabic language, and I have said it earlier, that if a word got an additional letter into it, more meaning into it. Now look at the word فَمَسْتَعُوا and then وَمَسْتَطَعُوا. The word مَسْتَطَعُوا got an additional ta here, which is not found in the word فَمَسْتَعُوا. What is the difference here? Because in istita'a, the meaning of doing something out of your ability is more than in the word famasta'u. Crossing something from above is negated here, because that is a bit easier to cross something from above. But to make a tunnel in a very solid wall is very difficult. So this is why the word فَمَسْتَطَاعُوا لَهُ نَقْبًا is mentioned here, that they were not able even to create a tunnel into it. Now coming back to our discussion, the second meaning of al-Zahir is al-Ghalib alladhi la yughlab. The person who is dominant and no one can defeat him. فَأَيَّدْنَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا عَلَىٰ عَدُوِّهِمْ فَأَصْبَحُوا ظَاهِرِينَ. That is the end of Surah Al-Saf, that we have supported the believers upon or against their enemies. فَأَصْبَحُوا ظَاهِرِينَ. So they became dominant. So that is the second meaning. And in one of the hadiths of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, لَا تَزَالُ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْ أُمَّتِي ظَاهِرِينَ عَلَى الْحَقِّ لَا يَخَافُونَ فِي اللَّهِ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ إِلَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ. A faction or a group from among my ummah will remain zahirin. Either you can say manifest, always be recognized, or you can say the dominant, and they would remain upon the truths, and they are not going to fear in their actions the blaming of any blamer until the last command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes. So these are the two meanings of the word al-Zahir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is apparent, He is manifest, and because of that attribute of Allah, everything becomes apparent for us. For example, without the sun you can't see, because the sun is manifest. This is why, because of the manifestation of the sun, everything becomes zahir for you. If it is darkness, you can't see anything. In the same way, Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of the heaven and the earth. The infidel, the non-believer, is living in complete darkness, in utter darkness. He got no light to see. He does not know what is the objective of the man. Why is he created in this earth? Where he is going to end up? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created him? He does not know anything because he is living in the darkness. The moment he believes in Allah, the whole universe becomes enlightened for him. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of the heaven and the earth. So with Allah, wa huwa zahir, everything becomes manifest. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed the evidence for His oneness, for His existence everywhere in this universe. As one of the poets in Arabic has said, وَفِي كُلِّ شَيْءٍ لَهُ آيَةٌ تَدُلُّ عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُ وَاحِدٌ. In everything there is a sign which is showing that He is wahid, He is one. As one of the Arab has said that if you find a dung, al-ba'ra, if you find a dung in the desert, you will say, oh, a camel has passed from here. If you see the smoke, it means that there must be a fire under it. And when you see all this universe, with this land, the mountains, the sun, the moon, everything in this universe, all of them, they are telling us that there should be a creator behind them. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes manifest. Even if you find something written, a good writing, don't you think first thing which comes to your mind that there must be a writer who has written it. And that writer, that person who has written such a good writing, he must be a very intelligent person. He must got a good knowledge. And this is how from that few words you are led to find out the writer. Let alone the whole universe. Why don't you get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by thinking deep about the universe? And that is the very same evidence which was advanced by one of the great Imams, Imam Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayhi, when he was asked by some atheist to have a dialogue with them about the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was invited at an appointed time, but he did not reach on that time. He was late. Now that atheist with all the people, they were sitting waiting for the Imam. When Imam came, they asked him the first question, why are you late? Because you used to be very punctual. Now Imam said to them, yes, I wanted to come to you, but there was a river between you and me, and I have to find out a boat to cross it to you. And there was no boat at all. So I was just thinking how to cross the river. Then at once I saw a strange thing. I saw that the trees growing on the bank of the river, they started falling. And from them, the planks, the wooden planks, came out springing, joining themselves together, nailing themselves together, turning into a boat by itself. And once the boat was ready, it sprang into the water. And then I boarded it, and then the boat started floating towards the other end until I came to you. After listening to this story, all of them said, those atheists, Imam, you are telling a lie. He said, how come I say to you a lie? They said, because the trees are not going to turn into wooden planks by themselves. There must be some person to cut them into pieces and then turn them into wooden planks. And these wooden sheets are not going to join by themselves. there should be someone to nail them and to put them into a boat. And then the boat is not going to spring or jump by itself into the water. There should be someone to push it into the water. So this is why they say that you are lying to us. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi said to them that when you think that a boat can't come into existence by itself, how do you say that this whole universe with all its planets and stars, everything in it can come into existence by itself? Is it possible? No, it is not possible. And this is how he won the case that day. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also has mentioned, He has derived our attention to things around us. For example, these ayat of Surah Al-Ghashiyah, أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ وَإِلَى الْجِبَالِ كَيْفَ نُصِبَتْ وَإِلَى الْأَرْضِ كَيْفَ سُطِحَتْ. Don't they see towards the camels how they are created? And to the heaven above them, how it has been made lofty upon them. To the mountain around them, how they have been fixed on the lands. To the earth, how it has been spread out under their feet. That is an argument which we see in the Quran in many places. Think about the signs of Allah, the creation of Allah around you. And by thinking about the creation of Allah, you are going to find out about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about the Creator. Now here, those things are mentioned which were very common for an Arab Bedouin to recognize. For example, for them, the camel was their transport. It was just like a boat in the ocean. That is their boat in the ocean of the sand. That camel, which got so many signs for them, they ride upon it and it takes them from one place to another place. The very same camel who can be patient on the food and on the drink for so many days. It can travel without water for so many days. The very same camel, which they use it for transport, they use it for their food as well. They use it for their milk as well. And with the hairs of the camel, they got their tents made. So many things which are just associated with one creature of Allah, and that is the camel. And this is in the same way we can think about the heaven and the mountain and the earth. Now we are heading towards the break, and after the break we are going to speak about al-batin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار.
Back to the Prophet. Join Sheikh Amar in the program Back to the Prophet, wherein he teaches us practical lessons from the Prophet's life and how this can help us to overcome our challenges in the present.
We talk about the life example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, seeking guidance for ourselves. In the early days after the revelation of the Holy Quran, the Muslims were greatly persecuted, so much so that quite a few Muslims had to leave Arabia and migrate to Africa to live among Ahl Kitab, Christian people who followed the gospel of Christ.
الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before the break we spoke about al-Zahir, the manifest, And now we want to speak about al-batin, the hidden. These two attributes of Allah, al-zahir, al-batin. And we have quoted that hadith last time, which says that هو الظاهر فليس فوقه شيء. He is zahir, manifest, nothing is above him. وهو الباطن فليس دونه شيء. He is batin, he is hidden, for there is nothing beyond him. Now the word al-batin, as you know, that it is coming from batn. Batn is the belly. That is, what is in it is hidden from the eyes. So this is how that word al-batin is used for anything which is hidden. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is al-zahir, He is al-batin. How could it be the two opposite characters associated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this way? So let us understand it in this way, that He is al-zahir, and as we said that everything becomes manifest because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These signs are scattered in this universe, so much so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is known to us. But on the other hand, can we see Allah? No, we can't see Allah. We can't see Allah. Even the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the night of ascension, when he went to the heavens, and according to the hadith of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, when a successor Masruq asked her, did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, did the Prophet see Allah in the night of ascension? And she said, oh, she was surprised from this question. She said that, no, it did not happen. Allah is the light, and who could see the light? You can't see even the light of the sun. If the sun, 12 o'clock, or in the midday, just try to look at the sun, you can't bear the light of the sun, let alone the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That would be a great favor that in Al-Jannah, in paradise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you that ability, because that would be a perfect creation once again of the man. This is why it is said in the hadith that among all the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the biggest bounty would be that the believers are going to see Allah. Anyhow, here or now, we can say al-batin, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hidden. He is not seen from us. More you think about Him, you are not reaching to the reality about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you know Him because of all the impressions, the signs which are scattered in this world. Now let us here take another story which got some light about this aspect of Allah's being. A man came to a scholar, and he said to him, he asked these three questions. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to you, is existing, why don't we see Him? That was the first question. The second question, he said that according to Quran, Satan is created out of fire, and you are saying that he would be thrown into the fire on the day of judgment. So if he is from fire, how the fire is going to burn him? And the third question, he said that what is the need for the last day? We don't understand why there is a need for the last day. Now this scholar answered him in what way? He took a stone made of clay, just clay. I am not saying about the rock, from the clay, and he threw that stone upon him. He hit him with the stone on his head. Now the person started crying and complaining. He said, what type of scholar you are? What type of imam you are? I am asking you some question and you are hitting me with a clay stone. What happened to you? Imam said to him, I have answered you. How did you answer me? He said, all three questions are answered in this way. First, he said You are crying. Why you are crying? He said, I got pain. Where is the pain? Yes, here it is in the head. Show me where is the pain. I can't show you. I just feel it. You can't show the pain, but you feel it. That is the answer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there. You can't see Him, but He is there because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this universe. He has created you. He has created every one of us. So, He is perceived by the signs He has scattered in this universe, though He is not seen, He is known. And the second question about the Satan, he is created out of fire, so if he is thrown into the fire, how is he going to suffer? The scholar said to him, don't you know that the man is created out of clay? Yes, he is created out of clay. All right. When I have thrown a stone clay upon you, why have you suffered? You are saying that I am feeling the pain. So if you feel the pain because of a stone of clay and you are clay yourself, as you believe, in the very same way the Satan who is created out of fire, when he is going to be thrown into the fire, he would be suffering there. The third question, he said, now I have hit you with the stone and you are complaining. If you want justice from me, what are you going to do? He said, I will go to the judge. I will report you to the authorities and of course I will take my matter to the judge to judge among ourselves. The scholar said to him, that is the answer to your third question, that because there is so much injustice in this land, people are killing other people, people are inflicting injustice upon other people, so there should be a judgment given to them. And that judgment does not come in this world. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to create us once again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to resurrect us once again, so to judge among ourselves. That was the story which is related to this issue. Now coming back to the word al-batin, let us take this saying of Isa alayhi salam on the day of judgment, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him this question, that did you say to the people, declare me and my mother as two gods? He said, no. If I have said it, you must have known it. And he said, Anta ta'lamu ma fi nafsi wa la a'lamu ma fi nafsik. Because you know what is in my nafs and I don't know what is in your nafs. That is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is the other meaning of al-batin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything which is in our batin, what we disclose and what we hide. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows them. But as far as Allah's being is concerned, we don't know about Him. We don't know many things about Him. And this word al-batin, we have read the ayat of Surah Al-Hadid, that dialogue between the hypocrites and the believers on the day of judgment. Here that word has been used. So let me quote them once again, that the hypocrites would be saying to the believers on that day, to the believers when they see them walking into the light, they would say to them, wait for us and give us some of your light. And the answer would come from them, go back and find out your own light for yourselves. And then this ayah of Al-Quran, فَضُرِبَ بَيْنَهُمْ بِسُورٍ لَهُ بَابٍ بَاطِنُهُ فِيهِ الرَّحْمَةِ وَظَاهِرُهُ مِنْ قِبَلِهِ الْعَذَابِ. And then a wall would be fixed between the believers and the hypocrites. That wall which got a gate in it. It is just like a boundary wall. The Arabic word sur for the boundary wall. بَاطِنُهُ فِيهِ الرَّحْمَةِ. Now see here the word batinuhu. In the inside would be the mercy where the believers are. وَظَاهِرُهُ مِنْ قِبَلِهِ الْعَذَابِ. And outside where there are the hypocrites, there would be the punishments. يُنَادُونَهُمْ Alam nakum ma'akum. They would shout to them. Now the hypocrites are shouting to the believers, were we not with you in this world? We were living together. We were in the same town. Qalu bala. They would say, of course, yes, you were with us. But now they will give them the charge sheet of their crimes. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ فَتَنْتُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ وَتَرَبَّصْتُمْ وَارْتَبْتُمْ وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْأَمَانِ حَتَّى جَاءَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ وَغَرَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. The charge sheet is that you people, you have subjected yourself to lot of fitna, to the trials. Innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna. Your money, your children is a trial for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you money to try you, whether you become obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in spending this money for the sake of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you children to grow them into the good citizen of this world. Pious people, good people, not to become monsters, roaming on the streets and hitting everyone. That was your fitna. That we have given you the children, the money, but you did not pass the trial. The money you spent just to fulfill your desires. The children, you turn them into disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That was a legacy which every father should leave for his sons. The legacy of Iman, the legacy of Islam, but you did not do that. And then, وَتَرَبَّصْتُمْ. You were always in hide to see what is going to happen to the believers. If they are defeated, you rejoice upon their defeat, because your hearts were not with them. وَارْتَبْتُمْ. And you were always doubtful about the promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He promised you a vast Jannah, so vast that all the heavens and the earth could fit into it, but you did not believe in those promises. And then you were always led by your false hopes and desires. And then you were persuaded by the Satan until the last command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has come to you. These are the few things we could have said about the attribute of Allah al-Batin. And with this we come to the end of this session. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار. الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار.